But one of the things that we are all looking for is purpose, right? And inside of that, in order to find purpose, you got to do things. You got to figure out what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like, what feels good, where you start, like your heart just flutters just because you're doing the thing for free. That's how I found that I was an organizer because I did the thing for free and it just made my heart so happy. And so, in order to find something that works for you, you got to go through the dirt, you got to go through the ups and the downs, and you'll eventually land on Plymouth Rock.
What's up, listeners? Welcome back to another episode of Lights Beyond Limits, where we talk about the breakthroughs and the stories that people have with their limitations and the lessons that they learn from it. I'm your host, Coach Willie Blake, and today I have a very special guest. I am so excited to be able to bring on because, man, she has so much going on and just like such. I love the energy she brings. So let me just tell you a little bit about her. Takilla Combs is a life organizing strategist, entrepreneur, and founder of Extreme Audacity Organized Solutions, LLC, helping individuals and families turn chaos into clarity through practical, sustainable home systems. Wildly known as the laundry guru, she specializes in creating systems that reduce overwhelm and restore productivity in everyday life. She also serves as the president of the National Association of Black Professional Organizers, where she advocates for and equips minority and women-owned businesses with resources, mentorship, and opportunities for growth. A proud mother, mentor, and youth leader, Takilla is passionate about empowering the next generation and helping people take control of their lives. Because as she says, you either take control of your clutter or your clutter will take control of you. She's also a lifelong dancer who started cheerleading as a child and still enjoys hitting the dance floor with styles like line dancing, Detroit ballroom, and Chicago stepping. Takilla, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really hard to listen to your bio, just to sit there and for somebody to talk to you, talk about you.
Yeah, they
uh,
say all this like good stuff going on, like all this
yeah,
stuff, which you have done, right? But it's just like you hear
yeah.
it and just like, have I really done that? Or
Oh,
it's
that's
kind of just,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
thank
good
you really
stuff.
for having me. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, we're excited to have you on. So, to start off, just like we do with everybody, we want to hear what your story is. Because as we talk about the breakthroughs, the lessons that you have, we want the audience to be able to resonate. And I have found that the best way to do that is to really get an understanding. So, please tell us, what is your story?
Well, listen, I am a professional organizer, as Willie just said, and some people think that I am this like super organized person every single place of my life, and that's just not the case. I am very organized in my physical space, but I am a human being and I live life, but my house is very easy to clean up. So I started off with that because I have been organized in my physical space my entire life. I grew up being organized. My parents were not. So it was to their advantage that I was a very organized person. However, I did get in a little bit of trouble because I would move things around without permission. And then, my mom would be like, well, where is this and where is that? And I would have to tell her what I did with all her things. And that was like middle school, high schoolish. I wasn't that old. I wasn't old enough to be bothering my mom's stuff without permission. So, I mean, from there, I have done so many things. One of the things that I did is I became a childcare provider so that I could stay home with my children. My mom was a childcare provider for many years. She decided that she was moving out of state. So I took over her daycare and I loved being able to help other people and help develop other people's children while being able to stay home and develop my own. So I've been a childcare provider. Straight out of high school, I went to college for a little bit, but I dropped out because I was just so homesick. I went to cosmetology school. So I've done it all. Okay. So
Yeah, you have.
cosmetology license, child care provider, so I can do your child's hair, I can take care of them, and then I can help get them organized. But long story short, after I became a cosmetologist, and I did hair for a long time, and still doing other work because the hair business is, for some people, it's just not consistent enough to raise a family, and so that was it for me. And so I stopped doing the daycare. My kids got older, put them in private schools, and then ended up getting a divorce. So I had to figure out something. So I went back to work like full time, doing hair, working overnight at Walmart while being so drained. During that time at Walmart is where I really learned that I loved organizing. So I was the overnight support manager, and I helped the stores look amazing when the new customers came in the morning. So we restocked the shelves. And so I found myself enjoying, you know, organizing the shelves for the morning, right? They call it restocking, or I forgot what it's called when you pull the items up. It's been so long ago.
Zoning.
Yes. How do you know?
Yes.
Oh,
Uh,
Willie.
produce and meat department at Walmart. Yes.
See? Yeah. So I would be zoning, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed telling people what to do and making sure that the job got done well. So from there, I got a job as a general manager for Family Dollar. That was another retail position that I actually really did enjoy. And I love helping people. So being able to provide jobs for people, the hiring process, the coaching process of training people and developing them in the inside the store, and the actual zoning and stocking the shelves. All of that was so fun for me. And then I had to leave that to because I decided to move to North Carolina. Remember earlier I said had my children in private schools. The St. Louis public school system was just not what I needed it to be. And I got a divorce, and I couldn't afford to keep my kids in private school. Some of my family had moved to North Carolina, so I moved to North Carolina because they have much better schools. And so moved here, start working some jobs that I absolutely hated, hours I hated, that didn't work for me and my family. And so it was just really challenging. Then I got fired, Willie, from a job
Mm,
I hated.
dang.
Right? It
Yeah.
was like, okay, I really don't want to be here anyway, but I didn't need to get fired either for some girl drama that I'm just really not, it's just not my personality. But I got caught up in some stuff. And for me, I just really believe it was God pushing me. Right. So that's the end of all of that and the beginning of Extreme Audacity in my professional organizing career. Because I got fired, and then I went on to no, I got fired, and I was helping my sister in her business while I was looking for a job. And while I was helping her get organized, move her office from one room to the other. And this time, it was like God. He said it's time. And when he said that, I knew exactly what it meant because my sister had talked to me about being an organizer many years ago, and I was like brushed it off because I was like, nobody's gonna pay me to do this. Like this is too fun. And so I went home that day. That was December of 2016. I did research, and little did I know, my mind was blown. People were getting paid good money to do what I had been doing for free. I was like, there's no way that people would pay me to do this. So that was December of 2016. I started my business, Extreme Audacity, in January of 2017. And I've been in business ever since. And I love doing it. I have gone from just physically organizing people, going to their homes, to now coaching people after we've gotten them organized, getting them into my coaching program to help them stay organized. Because some people think that once you get organized, like you're going to magically stay that way. And it's just not the case. There's a learning curve, especially when you haven't been organized your entire life, when you've just been living, willy-nilly out here. You gotta narrow it down. You gotta get your schedule together. You gotta get some processes and procedures together, some systems together. And so I coach people on, after we get you organized, how do you stay organized, right? And so I do virtual organizing coaching, and now I'm having a master class, The Organized Life. I'm actually rebranding Extreme Audacity to the Organized Life headquarters. And so I'm in
Mm.
the process of doing that. I'm so excited about it. And it's just been such an adventure. I love, love, love uh, being able to help people in their homes. I feel so honored because that's the space where most people don't get to see. Even some of their loved ones, they won't even have them over because they're just it's so embarrassed about their space. So they won't have those family gatherings anymore. They don't have those parties and things that they would love to have because they're so embarrassed. And I get the honor and the privilege to be in their space, in the unseen spaces, is what I like to call, of their lives, where most people don't get the privilege to see.
Yeah. Man, y'all hear this? Y'all hear how much is going on? Incredible. Wow, there's so many different ways, but the first that we can take this conversation, the first one that comes up though is the the part with organization because I'm literally thinking about the pile of laundry that is on the other side of this door in the laundry room that just like we just pile up dirty laundry there. And
Yeah.
whenever we remember to take the clothes out of the washer into the
Yes.
dryer, if we don't have to reset the washer because they've been in there for days.
Because they've been,
Yeah.
that's right.
So
We've
with
all done
organization,
that, like for real. Well, everybody has done that. I mean, I've even done that, but yeah, go ahead with your question.
yeah, and there's even like Mount St. Laundry of the clean clothes that you got that you're
Mm-hmm,
not organizing.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
the question is organizing and cleaning, does it come down to emotions or does it come down to strategy?
It definitely comes down to strategy. And so when I tell clients when they call me, when they submit their inquiry on my website, that's the first step in your strategy, right? So the strategy is, how am I going to accomplish this and get this done? Our emotions will lead us astray. Our emotions will have us looking at those pile of clothes because I am not interested. Okay. So it's all about strategies, and then it's about the inside of the strategies, what system we're putting in place to actually accomplish the goals. So you got to have a strategy, you got to have systems, you got to have consistency, and you got to be intentional.
I love that. So when people are going through, let's say just an average mother has 4 kids, comes to you and just like, my house is a mess, my husband's out at working during the day. What advice would you give her? And if she, even if she was your client, like where would you start with the process?
Yeah, when I'm working with clients, the first thing we got to look at, especially my virtual clients, if it's a client where I'm physically going in their space, then we're going to start in an area that, if this was done like this, if you could have a magic wand and wave it, where, and if you could have a magic wand and wave it, and this space would be completely organized, where would we start? Right? So most times that could be the kitchen or the master bedroom. That's where we usually start. Because the kitchen is usually the heart of the home, and the master bedroom is where we want to lay and rest and be serene. Now, if I'm working with clients virtually, the first thing we're going to do is tackle their calendar. And I like to do that with my clients in
Okay.
person too. However, it's a little bit more hands on inside of the home, right? We're having conversations about their calendar while we're organizing their kitchen. But if we're working virtually, I want to tackle your calendar because if you're going to work with me virtually, you got to put me in your schedule.
Mm. Amen. Yeah.
You got to put me in your schedule. You got to put the extra credit assignments that I give you into your schedule, right? So you got to start planning this life that we're trying to create. So we got to take some things off of our calendars that are not benefiting our life and pushing us towards purpose. And we got to add things that will. And some of the things that will push us towards our purpose are not on there, right? We're just flying by the seat of our pants and we forget to add things to our calendar. And like we were talking about before, let me get back to you. I'll see if I can get you in, right? So
Yeah.
tackling your schedule and your calendar is so important. That's probably one of the biggest things I want to work on with my clients is what's on your calendar, what's benefiting your life, and what's not. Let's do more of what's going to help you.
Mm. Man, see, this is why I wanted this conversation because you,
Yeah.
like when we were talking before, just hearing like you have the expertise, you know what you're talking about, and you break it down so simple. I love the verbiage of extra credit assignment. I think that's one of the coolest things in the world, rather than challenge or homework. If you say
Mm-hmm.
homework, you've already lost me on that front.
I was just talking to somebody else, and they actually gave that to me. They blessed me with that. They gave me extra credit, and I was like, "Huh, I'm gonna start using that." I love it because I know that I'm a great student, and if you give me extra credit, I'm gonna smash it. Okay, so having extra credit, I feel like it's so much the word. It's a play on words, right? It's the same thing, but it's all about how our mindset sees it, how we see it, right? How we put it in perspective, and so that extra credit really does, I think, help people mentally not feel like they're doing something like draining.
Yes, yes, agreed. Let's take this and jump back to a part in your story. So you started having this idea, you were at Walmart and you started learning that you like the organization, you like being able to do stuff. So you're like, what in the world can I get paid for it? You look it up and you're like, man, people are making bucks doing the things that I want to do that I just thought I could do for free, but I can actually get paid for it. You start your
Yeah.
business in 2017. How was it like those first couple months of starting your business?
It was so exciting because I was oblivious to starting this business from scratch. And I was just excited, right? And I was just like, I was doing all the things, getting the website, making flyers, and this was before all the ads on Facebook. So I was like telling everybody what I did, and I was getting so many people all these likes and all these things, but nobody was buying. And so the funny thing is, Willie, I got my first lead off of Craigslist. My first
Oh,
lead,
really?
my first client. I hope like the most dangerous website in the world. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how we think about it. It's just murderers and serial killers on there. Um, but yeah, that's where I got my first client, and it's it's been extremely challenging. When those first few months, I was super excited. What I did was I went online because I was like, I gotta find something to where if I get an organizing gig, I have flexibility, right? But I don't want to be locked down to another like 9 to 5. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, maybe I'll clean houses. Maybe I'll be a nanny. Maybe I'll do this or I'll do that. So I went on a website and I found that I could do I found a gig to make the story short as being what I called a family assistant. And so I helped families transport their kids back and forth to school, clean the house a little bit, and like do some meal prepping. And so that was my consistent income. And I did it 3 days a week. And then the other 2 days I left for organizing. So it was super challenging initially because I was still trying to get organizing gigs, but I had this consistent income where I was being able to take care of myself while I was building a business. And so that helped to sustain me while I was growing the business and building it. But yeah, it was super exciting at first, and then the excitement goes down because the reality hit that I need more money than this, right? And so you got to figure out a way to combat that. And I just kept pushing.
And look at you now, almost a
Look at me
decade
now.
later. It's up and
Yeah,
going.
I know, almost 10 years.
Ah, incredible. Incredible. So my audience, I know a lot of them will resonate with this because they're in those beginning steps. They're in the process of wanting to start something. They feel lost, they feel behind, they feel like they have to catch up in life, and they just want to know how to start or want to really resonate with somebody as saying, is anyone out there struggling like I am, just trying to make ends meet and create a dream that'll feed me the rest of my life? And so,
Hmm.
one of the things that we talk about is limitations. So, was there a limitation back then that held you back at the time, but then over time, you've been able to break through it?
Yeah, my ignorance. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what a professional organizer was. I didn't know how to build a business like this from scratch. I mean, I had a daycare, right? And even me and my ex-husband, we had a cleaning business. But all of those businesses I built with somebody else. This one was I was doing solo, and I had no clue what I was doing. So luckily, I was able to connect with some other professional organizers online on Facebook, and they were that's how. So the National Association of Black Professional Organizers is almost the same age as my business. It's one of the ways I connected with those ladies. We connected online on Facebook, and then in that process, the National Association of Black Professional Organizers was built. And I've been a part since conception, and it's one of the ways I've been able to grow as a professional organizer and as a business owner, being in community. One of the biggest things that I've learned from then to now is community is everything. Like
Mm,
having the right coach,
yes.
being in a coaching program that actually has more than just you in it, like with other people, the business owners, where you guys can have, we call them meets in the coaching program I'm in, and we get together, business owners, and we talk about business. Having those spaces and platforms where you can go and get feedback to know that you're not alone, right? Those are so important and they've really contributed to my success. I would not be here where I am if it was not for community.
Mm. Community is so important. How do people find those if they're just starting? How do we find those good communities? Because there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. There's a lot of school communities. So how do you find ones that just work the best for you?
I think it's just like you find anything else, even like I tell my clients when we're doing processes and procedures and strategies, we try something and we see if it works. And if that system that we put in place doesn't work, that's not for you. We gotta do something different. Right. So I've been in groups before. I've tried different things and they weren't for me until I found what was for me. And so
Mm,
that's the National Association of Black Professional Organizers. There's another organization I'm a part of called Silver Lining. That's a huge, huge organization that I love and has been very important to me, but there were other organizations that I tried. Even when I met the first person that's a part of the Black National Association of Black Professional Organizers, we were in a community together and we were getting completely ignored. We weren't getting attention. Our questions weren't getting answered inside of that platform. And she saw me. She saw, of course, I was a black woman not being answered inside of the group, and all of the white women were, they would answer all of the other girls' questions and give feedback and all these things. So she inboxed me on the back end, and she was like, "Hey, come over to this group. We have a great community, and we'll help you along the way." And so you find out what doesn't work for you by trial and error. I truly believe that you're not gonna just like magically find the perfect thing the first time.
Yeah, it's the reason why I love generals, the general studies in colleges, because
Mm,
with generals, you literally get to touch your foot in different areas of science, of history, psychology, to economics, to business and accounting, to like the various things, just to understand, just to be
yeah,
able to experience it. Very,
yeah.
it's so under talk that one of the best ways to be able to actually know what you want is to try it out.
Try something. Yeah. And I talk and even inside like you talked about my in my bio how I help mentor young kids and teenagers and women. That's a part of my ministry inside of my church. But one of the things that we are all looking for is purpose, right? And inside of that, in order to find purpose, you got to do things. You got to figure out what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like, what feels good, where you start, like your heart just flutters just because you're doing the thing for free. That's how I found that I was an organizer because I did the thing for free and it just made my heart so happy. And so in order to find something that works for you, you got to go through the dirt, you got to go through the ups and the downs, and you'll eventually land on Plymouth Rock.
Yeah. What legacy do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be remembered for?
Oh, I want to be remembered for my servant heart. I want to be
Ooh, please tell
remembered.
me more.
Yeah, I love to serve people. I love that to help people. Like if I go into a space in a room, get on a call, it doesn't matter. The My initial response is how can I help? And it's if it's an event, I want to get my hands dirty. If it's just a call, okay, how can I help? If it's especially teenagers and young people, I love to sit and listen, even if it's I don't have anything to say. Just being there and listening helps, right? You can just be a hug. You can just be give someone some food. Like I go to the grocery store and I got somebody standing on the corner looking. They need something to eat or something to drink. I'll give them some of the stuff that's in my car, right? My younger son, he's very much a servant too. Like he was just every time we saw somebody, like he always, Ma, you got $1. Ma, you got $1. And I tried to get him away from giving out too much money because I'm like, sir, I don't have a lot of money. But that was just his heart. And so we love to give. But I just want people to know me as a servant, as who I am. It's just in my blood. I love to serve. I serve in my church. I serve my family. What in whatever capacity that's needed in the moment.
What a wonderful read. Like you can just hear the passion behind it. Was this something that came early on, like when you were a kid and you just knew about this, or as you grew older was able to finally put words to it?
Definitely, as I grew older, I finally was able to put words to it. I think it's always been innate inside of me. I didn't have the language to articulate it. But as I said, I've been organizing for a long time. So much so that I would go to family members' house and we would be there for a family function like Thanksgiving or something. And then I'd be like, oh, can I organize your pantry? So it's always been there. That's probably the one of the first things I will organize when I get to people's houses, their pantry, because you're always in the kitchen. And I would see that it was a mess and I could fix that for you. It's broken. Let me fix it.
Yeah. That's like I'm just thinking of several people. I had this conversation with several of my friends to where it's those moments of you're just living life and the house gets messy and whatnot, but then people come over for like this plan come over and all of a sudden you literally dedicate a whole day to cleaning out every nook and cranny where people can
Yeah.
sleep because you're just like, people are coming over. I can't look this certain way. So it's just, and then there's like the whole thing of people coming over. It's just like, oh, the mother-in-law going into the pantry and saying, well, this expired back in 2016. You need to
Yeah.
throw this away. And it's just the emotions behind it, but then also
Hmm.
realizing that emotions don't need to hold you back, that it's the
Hmm.
strategies. Like when you have strategies in place, then you're able to bypass those emotions.
Yes.
So,
So
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to talk about because you talked about your laundry earlier in the when we got on here, and one of the biggest things when we get ready to put strategies and systems in place, laundry is probably one of the biggest hindrances in families across America. We wear clothes every day, but yet we want to wash them every 2, 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Um, so one of the things that I work with my clients on, one of the systems that we put in place is a laundry cycle, right? So you got to
Okay.
complete the laundry cycle in order to almost feel successful in getting your laundry under control. So the laundry cycle is going to be you sort the clothes, you wash them, you dry them, hang, put away, hang, fold, and put away, right? And when you asked about like like a four kids, or that's a large family, especially if it's a husband, a wife, and 4 kids. That's 6 people. So you can't do laundry once a week. In order to have a successful laundry cycle, you got to do it minimum twice a week. Me and my
Mm.
kids, it was 3 of us, so it was my 2 boys and myself. We did laundry once a week, but we completed the entire laundry cycle in 2 days. We would start washing one day. By the end of the second day, it would be complete. Everything would be folded and put away. And I got my children involved, right? I did not do it by myself. They can be 8, 9, 10. They know how to pull some clothes out of the wash and put it in the dryer, push the start button, right? It's not hard. Put a dryer sheet in. That's a system, a process you can teach your children to where you don't have the load of every single thing. By the time my kids were in middle school, they were doing their own laundry completely, right? So it's a we got to put these systems in place in order so that we don't have that stress of the overload of I don't have any clean underwear, my son doesn't have any matching socks, or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
Yeah. With that, is there one or two lessons? Because I want to make sure everyone can reach out to you. So I'll ask you in a minute how people can be able to do that because you're one, you're so freaking awesome. And two,
Hmm.
you have these strategies to be able to do. Is there one or two lessons that you would like to leave with our audience for today?
The biggest thing, like I said earlier, is get your calendar in order because your life should run by that. When we are not living our lives based on a schedule and a plan, we are planning to fail.
Mm,
You gotta have a plan in place. You gotta have systems in place. Now, mind you, some people may think, "Oh, I can't do the calendar. I don't want to look at it." Yeah, you probably don't, and it probably can be a little bit um, taxing in the beginning. But anything that's hard on the front end will make your life easier on the back end. Anything that's easy on the front end, just willy nilly in it, is gonna bring you some trials and tribulations on the front end, on the back end, right? So easy on the front, hard on the back. Hard on the front, easy on the back. So take the time to sit down, look at your calendar, put things on your calendar that are pushing you towards purpose, and remove some things that are not. One of the other biggest tips that I'll say is to get your family involved. Get buy-in from your family as much as possible. If you have children, I don't like my niece. My sister sent us a picture in the group chat the other day. She is 1 years old, pulling clothes out of the dryer and so happy. Okay. Get them started early. Okay. Laundry is so easy. They learn their colors. They can learn darks. They can learn lights. They can learn whites, right? They can separate the clothes. They can pick the clothes up and put them in the washer, even if you got to get a step stool, right? So get them involved as early as possible. When kids are involved in the process of organizing, they will be your best accountability partner because they will tell their mom, their dad, Miss Takilla didn't put that right there. She did not say that that goes right there. I know because this happened. And parents will tell me all the time, um, Tommy, we'll just say Tommy, said just checked me and told me that this doesn't go right there, right? So they love kids love and thrive in systems and strategy. If you look at a daycare, if you look at a school, they are organized. They have the crayons right here, they have the dolls right here. This is the dress up section. This is where we do blocks. This is where the books are. It's organized. And when the day is over, the kids put the stuff back before they leave. That's a system. That's a strategy, right? So if we have strategies and systems in place, if we get our schedules under control, and if we get buy-in from our family members, life will be so much easier. You can't take the load all by yourself.
And I'll be a second testament to that because my kids love taking the laundry out. They take it upstairs, they put it in. Not only colors, they know what a shirt is, they know what the pants are, they know what the socks are. Like they know. And then as long as you point to which drawer it is the first time, they're just like, cool, this is the shirt drawer and pants drawer.
Yeah.
It's just that system, that repetition. And from a
Yeah.
young age, my 2 year old, she knows how to separate it into colors. So right on the spec. Takilla, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Mm.
For anyone who resonated with you today and just wants to get in either contact with you or connect with you, how do they do so?
So you can reach out to me at info@extremeaudacity.com. And the website is extremeaudacity.com. No E. So it's X starts with the X. So I'm sure Willie will have all this information for you guys. So info at Extreme Audacity, Extreme Audacity on all social media platforms, and TakillaRene on all social media platforms.
Yes, all those links, look in the description. They'll be there for you to click on and be able to connect. Okay, Takilla, how we like to end every show is I got it from a Diary of the CEO, Stephen Bartlett, and it's the final question to where somebody who I interviewed previously has left you a question to answer. So you ready to answer it?
Yes.
Yeah. So open up my phone. All right.
Okay.
If you went back to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell them you've accomplished that would blow their mind?
Mm. That I've been an accomplished entrepreneur for almost 10 years and it's growing.
Boom. Mic drop to the 18-year-old self. Takilla,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you so much, Willie. This has been so fun. I love chatting with you.
Me too. And with that wraps up this episode of Light Beyond Limits. If you found inspiration in this, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcasting platform, as well as you can go to our website, coachwillieblake.com, where we'll have the link to our podcast, the link to our socials, and everything else going in the Achievers universe. Until next time, my friends, continue to be a light in this world, continue to be the best version of yourself, and always remember that you can take control of your clutter. Because if you don't, the clutter will take control of you. We'll see you on the next episode of Light Beyond Limits.